Hey everybody, welcome to another Tuesday night chat. Again, let me apologize for Rosie not being here. Well, I'm not apologizing. She just let me know it's summertime. And hey everybody, welcome to another Tuesday
Is that me or you?
Okay, maybe I got it took care of.
I'm rookies.
Okay. It could have been me. Anyway, it's summertime. She's out running around, so she's not going to be here for a little while. She'll be back. So right now it's just me and Blue. There's some other invites sent out there. We'll see how it goes. And if not, it'll just be me and Blue. I really don't care. So I know I changed the title a little bit. I just want to talk about that a little bit. Because of the turmoil happening in Israel right now, and this moving our embassy to the capital of Israel, which I don't get why everybody's having such a problem with. I mean, that's where we usually have our embassies, is at the capital. Anyway, I mean, it'd be like freaking Russia having their embassy in Greenville, South Carolina. What fucking sense does that make? That's not the capital. That's not where everything's going on. Anyway, all right. Enough said about that for now. I'll let Blue do an intro and give us a update. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say that.
No, you're
just do an intro.
All right, you want me to hold off on that other part late because that was more of a Facebook thing, but
yeah, that's why I said I had to back up and catch myself. I was like, well, wait a minute, that ain't nothing to do with YouTube. So let me back off on that.
I'll mention it real quick just because last Tuesday we were all kind of talking about our pets, you know, service dogs, that type of thing, and I even made the comment on last Tuesday that, you know, I hope I wake up, go down to the basement to get the guy up to go out to go to the bathroom. And I hope he's just, you know, passed in his sleep and there's nothing, no suffering, no pain, anything like that. But, well, that didn't fucking happen. Sunday, Mother's Day, we were out running around doing the Mother's Day stuff. And we come home probably, I don't know, it was probably 7:30 or so after we had to stop at emergency care because my middle one broke his goddamn pinky finger. So we stopped there, come home, go down to the basement, and I'm like, come on, bud, let's go. And I can just hear weird noises from the side of the finished basement where he stays. And I don't know. I thought he had a stroke. He was like all laid off, weird. His eyes looked like he was having a freaking some type of seizure. He couldn't stand up, barfed everywhere. I mean, he was a hot mess. So long story short, we ended up taking him to the vet. Sunday night, he is still at the vet. I don't remember the actual condition they call it, but it's basically, I guess, dogs, once they get to a certain age, actually it can happen at any point throughout their life. But something happens like with their inner ear or something to where they're severely, severely dizzy. It's, God, I wish I could remember what they called it. But basically, we're now Tuesday going into Wednesday. He still can't stand up. He's eating, he's drinking. I've been up there every day, you know, checking on him, making sure he's good. But they're telling me that hopefully by tomorrow or the next day, that this is going to correct itself and he's not going to be dizzy anymore and he'll be back to normal, except he might have like somewhat of a head tilt. But so anybody out there that believes in prayers, thoughts, that stuff, you know, send it Goose's way. It's not vertigo. It's something else, bald. I mean, it's basically the same thing, but they call it something different where I'll have to look it up, but it's damn near the same thing. But it's just a lot more severe. But yeah, so if anybody, you know, send that out. I hope that by tomorrow he's standing up so I can bring him back home, because it actually sucks being out here and not being able to turn around and, you know, see him and that type of stuff. But other than that, yeah, Mother's Day really sucked this year for me. So Still keeping a positive outlook on things. So I'll just leave it at that.
Well, you know, as much as I don't talk about pets, I've had many, many pets over the years, and they become part of the family. They do. Oh, yeah. And, you know, that's just, it is what it is. Believe it or not, I even have a little bit of a affection for my, not always say affection, but I mean, I care about my chickens even. But I've had cats, dogs, my entire life. Right now, the past couple of years is the first time that I hadn't had a pet for as a cat or dog. But up until the last year or two, I've always had cats or dogs. So.
It's just, I don't know. It's just really, really weird whenever, you know, you pick a dog up, and I mean, literally this dog has been with me other than going on vacation a couple times where he's kenneled for 4 or 5 days. I mean, it's been, you know, 24/7. I wake up in the morning, go to work. He jumps in the back of the car with me. And I don't know if that gets that bond a little stronger, but yeah, it has led for the last couple of days of 0 fucking sleep, quite a bit of alcohol. But yeah, we'll leave it with that because I don't want to drag it down.
Yeah, well, and you also, I mean, he was your partner. I mean, he's not only your pet, he was your partner. He was your pal, your buddy, your fucking backup. I mean, he was there by your side for you.
Yep.
You know, I mean, and I don't know. I'm not a policeman. I'm not a K-9 unit or nothing like that. But I could just imagine there's a bigger bond. I'm not trying to bring you down or make you sad. I'm just thinking of it from my point of view. As far as a policeman that had a K-9 unit, I mean, it's just like, dude, that's your buddy, you know?
Right.
All right, enough about that. Rick, is your 6 covered? You want to do intro duty, buddy? Whatever. Okay. Thanks for joining. I forgot to shoot you an invite from the get-go like I normally do.
No worries. It was weird. It was telling me I wasn't allowed in the chat. I'm like, what the hell? But welcome and thank you. Hey, Blue.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah. All right. All right. Since I named this chat, let me look. I forgot what I named it. Zionist edition. I don't know if you guys have any insight whatsoever. I know it's like really throwing it out there for Zionist. Do any of you guys have you researched any of that whatsoever?
No.
Okay. So we're going in cold.
I got nothing for you on that.
Nope. Just what I heard, that every president for like the last fucking 3 or maybe 4 presidents have said they were going to move the embassy to the Capitol, and none of them did it. And Trump finally just said, fuck it, did it. And now they're having not a civil war, but civil disobedience with people dying.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping Daniel would jump in here.
Now, I'm not 100 years old or anything, but a lot of presidents that claim they're going to do shit, I've never really seen it in my lifetime. And this one, he says he's going to do some shit, and he gets it done.
You have to admire Trump for that, if nothing else. I mean, I don't care if he says the wrong thing. If he says, hey, I'm going to do this, by God, it gets fucking done. He does it. The only thing that he hasn't done, and don't get me wrong, there's still some work being done. The only thing that he's not been able to accomplish is get the wall built. And it's not his fucking fault. It's fucking Congress's fault for not funding it, for not following through with it. It's their fault. I mean, I don't know if any, Matt from Resisted Tyranny, he's down in Arizona. He actually done a video, and I think it was just a fake Facebook video. Maybe it was a YouTube video. I really don't know because I'm on both of his. I'm on his Facebook and his YouTube. And anyway, he goes up to the Mexican border. It's a fucking barbed wire fence with like this much space, just like you see in
Yeah,
a
it's for holding cattle back, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you wouldn't even keep a cow out, much less, I mean, you just walk over the fence.
I've seen a lot of those borders.
Yeah. There is no fence. There is no border.
No. Well, what's weird is when you're in San Diego and as you head east, you know, it goes from fucking monstrous to 0. So it looks all good right here. Boom. Keep going east. And it just keeps getting smaller, 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 smaller. Barbed wire.
Yeah.
So what's the updates with shit? I forget what nation they're from, but they came through Mexico coming up to the U.S. And I know Trump sent a bunch of prosecutors and judges down south to prosecute them if they crossed. Is there any update on that? Because I mean, that seems to have gone cold.
They're here.
I'm sorry.
They've been letting a few in. I saw that.
They're here already.
The last thing I saw was that there's a bunch of them waiting at the borderline, and they're letting some in.
Well, what happened was what hit the news, what made the headlines was the last couple of hundred. And they only let a few of those in, and that's what they reported. They only let a few of those in. The reason they only let a few of those in is because the bulk had already got here and was in processing. So they could take their names, give them their court date, then release them into America and say, yeah, show up here in 2 months, 2 years, whatever the fuck it is, and then we'll process you or whatever. So the ones that hit the headlines where they were up on top of the fence and chanting and blah, 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 blah. There's like 200 of them. And the news were reporting, oh, well, they let 18 in. No, the only reason they let 18 in was because the other thousands or hundreds and hundreds at least have already, overwhelmed the process of where as long as they have stepped foot on American ground, we'll process you, give you a court date, and then release you into America as an illegal American. I mean, an illegal immigrant.
Another thing I heard too was people from California had went into Mexico and had coached them to tell them to say certain things so that they would basically, with lack of better terms, say have to let them in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they was down there coaching them because they were seeking asylum from oppression. I forget, I forget exactly what it is, but just like when Cubans come to America, they're seeking to be a refugee from oppression, basically. But the thing about it is, a lot of them were from Honduras, South America, Central America. Well, they've already passed several countries. Why didn't they claim refugee status there? That is the question. Why didn't they do that? They were already in a freer country than where they come from. Why didn't they claim refugee status there? Oh, that's right. Fucking Mexico won't let them there. Never mind.
They want the free shit and they want it the easiest way, so come to America.
Mm-hmm. See, it just kills their whole argument. Oh, we're fleeing oppression and blah, blah, blah. And we're going to pass through 3 countries to get to this other country. It's like, well, why don't you just, claim it there? They're not oppressing you there. Oh, it's a poor country. You don't want to be there. You want to go to this other country. They're not oppressing you in Mexico, but it's not as, you can't make as much money there, but you'd be free from oppression there. Why didn't you stop there?
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like somebody from freaking Russia claiming asylum and going through the entire Europe to get to England and cross the sea and say, well, we were fleeing oppression. Well, you went through fucking France and blah, 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 all these other countries. Why didn't you do it there?
Mm-hmm. Nope. We have the easiest way to get free shit. That's all it comes down to.
Yep. And you can vote in our election.
Yeah. Speaking of voting, the wife and I went out to vote. It was, what was it, 6:30, 7 o'clock? About 6:30. And I mean, our little township that we live in, there's only a 1,600 population. I mean, where I live is rural. But as of about 6:30, I was number 154. She was number 155. That is all that showed up to vote today in our precinct. And I'm seeing it all across Facebook that, we have this many voters and 200 showed up. We have this many voters and, at the most, like 400 showed up. I'm like, holy Christ. Everybody wants to make a change. They want to beat the bandwagon, but nobody actually goes out and does it.
Yep. And very well, because you're on me and your friends on Facebook, hell, even on these chats and stuff, how much I beat the drum of voting. Fucking primaries, midterm elections. You got to get out there and vote. You can't just sit back in armchair fucking criticize what's going on in our government and you're not involved. You don't give two shits about it. You just want to sit back and bitch about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you didn't get off your ass. All you had to do is go down there and pull a fucking lever, press a fucking button. And you didn't even do that, but you want to sit back and bitch about it. Fuck you. God, I'm sorry. I'm kind of passionate about that.
That was eloquently said.
Tell him I just said that he just showed his age by saying pull the
lever. Oh, the wife says you just showed your age by saying pull the lever.
Yeah.
I was going to try not to say anything on that. That was pretty good.
I don't know that I actually ever pulled a lever, but I do remember the paper ballots where it punched a hole in it. You had the little thing that you literally like took the little pin thing and popped the fucking hole in it. And that wasn't that long ago. Hell, that was only 10 years ago. So.
See, and I know, I mean, this might not mean anything to anybody. However, every time the wife and I go vote, every time we take our 3 kids, 11, 9, and 8, right? 11. Yes, I was right. Thank God. 11, 9, and 8. But they're not voting, but we want to get them into the process. So, she usually takes 2 and I take 1 of them. And we sit there and we're like, all right, touch the little pin thing to the screen here. This is who we want to vote for. All right, touch it here. This is who we want to vote for. Then press next. I mean, we're the ones voting, but our kids are, doing it for us. I mean, does that make sense? I mean, we just want to get them involved in it so they know, okay, well, this is what we do. And we've been doing that for years.
Oh, absolutely. I did. Like I think, I don't know if it was somebody at work, Facebook, whoever it was, whatever, asked me something about registration or whatever. And I was like, look, I've been registered to vote since I was 18. And that's something my father instilled in me. I had to sign up for the, I forget what they call it anyhow, where you're able to be drafted for the military. direct draft or something. I forget. You know, you're supposed to do that.
It's not civil service. What is it? Selective service.
Selective service. There you go. And but the other thing was register to vote. You know, and I registered to vote, and I voted in every election since I've been 18, and I'm 50 freaking years old now. So every year, like I said, there's not an election going on every 4 years. There's an election going on every year. It may not be a federal employee, and that's what they are. They are a federal employee that we elect who we want to be up there representing us. But there's, I don't care if it's a trash man, the city council, the school board, whatever. There's an election going on every freaking year. And there's probably a primary. Learn as much as you can about them. Right now, we have two very, very important elections going on in South Carolina. We have an election going on for governor, and we have an election going on for the replacement for Trey Gowdy. And that's a big set of shoes to fill. And they are a bunch of people fighting for it. Right now, I have my eyes on a certain candidate. And I really don't want to say because I really need to do more research. But coming up in June, there's going to be a primary. And it's going to be a primary for the governor and the Trey Gowdy, the District 4 representative seat. And those are very, very important elections. Yep. I know South Carolina's a small state, don't have many electoral votes or whatever, but it just doesn't matter. These are really, really big elections going on, and we need to be involved in it. Our current governor wasn't even elected as governor. He was, I guess he was lieutenant governor, and Nikki Haley went to being part of the UN, and so he got the seat. So he wasn't even elected governor, and there's things about him that I don't like. There's things about him that I do like, but there's people fighting for his seat, so he's got to go up against people in a primary. Is he the best guy for us? Mm-hmm. It's an important election.
I don't think you'll find anybody to fill his shoes. That guy is badass. I wish he could fill every position that they make.
Yeah, Trey Gowdy, he kicked ass and took names. Ain't no doubt. I ain't saying he's perfect, but by God, he was hard at it. He was hardcore.
Some of the best videos on YouTube are him fucking blasting people up and down the. I mean, I could watch that shit all day long.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's like, yeah, there's another one out there, you know, and it'll be against somebody, and he's just freaking sticking it to him big time. You're like, this is the guy I want right here.
Yeah, if you want to watch some good, just like kick ass as far as government, somebody in government just fucking wiping the fucking slate with somebody's ass, fucking watch Trey Gowdy, because that son of a bitch will just drill a fucker.
Yep, he is one guy to be reckoning with. I mean, I would hate someday like he did something, you know, bad, because as much as he beats the shit out of everybody about everything, like if there was a little something that came out about him, I would just feel bad. But man, he has to be perfect because he fucking blasts everybody on anything. And I'm like, yes, we need about 100 more of these guys in office.
Yeah, I agree. I was very, very happy to have him as a representative for me in the state of South Carolina, no doubt.
What's he gonna do? Just straight out retire? Or? I know he's been offered lots of positions.
Yeah, he's been offered some. He just wants to get out of politics and go back to being a lawyer or whatever, you know. And after 8 years, you know, and if for somebody like me that believes in term limits, I have to applaud him for bowing out after being elected 4 times, because the representative is only a 2-year term. You know, so he's done 8 years and he's stepping out and he's bowing out and saying, okay, I did my time and I'm going to go back to the civilian sector. I applaud him for that, but at the same time, I hate that he's leaving. You know?
Yeah, I mean it's good. Everybody should be doing the same thing he's doing. He's showing good moral character, but damn, he's too good to get rid of.
Mhm. But then you got Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi. It has been there like for fucking ever, and it is such a blight to society. And it's like, yeah, we should have term limits. These bitches shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Or McCain, Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham, who is a South Carolina fucking senator. I hate Lindsey Graham. I hate him with a passion. McCain, I know he's dying of cancer or whatever and shouldn't say anything bad about him, but that fucker's got to go, you know?
You got some more support out there from Inside Freedom. TR for president.
Well, McCain hasn't made a meeting for what, a year now? I thought that's what I saw somewhere, is that he's been pretty much vacant for at least a year.
Yeah, he's just been making statements and little comments here and there.
And you can't have term limits if you fuckers don't go out and vote.
Exactly. Vote them out. See, Lindsey Graham, okay, I'll tell you a little bit about South Carolina politics for a minute, because this is a worldwide chat and then not South Carolina. But Lindsey Graham, his the last time he come up for election, if I'm not mistaken, it was the same time we elected Trump. But he had enough opposition that he had to go through a primary. Usually, no matter whether it's Democrat or Republican, whoever the incumbent is, usually they don't have to go through a primary. They're just the candidate. They may have a primary on the opposition to see who runs against them. But Lindsey Graham is so hated in South Carolina that there was a slew of people running for his seat in the Republican Party. And a candidate of Lee Bright almost, I mean, like this close, beat him. It was like 46 to 48%. You know, Lindsey Graham barely won against him. And he thinks, well, okay, everybody loves me again. But no, we don't. Half of everybody that votes, which is a small percentage of people, hate your guts. But you did squeak by a little bit. But as long as Lindsey Graham's been in office, for anybody that don't know, the last time that he ran, he had to fight his ass off to get that seat, and he just barely squeaked by and got it. Because even in South Carolina, we don't like his ass. Just so people will know.
I'll take any of those people over what California has to deal with.
Well, Lee Bright, I'm not saying he's perfect. I can't tell you all the facts and figures and stuff about him. He actually he was a state senator, not on the federal level, the state level, for a few years. And he's one of the ones running for Trey Gowdy's seat. And just for what little bit I know about him, he's the guy I'm going to vote for in the primary to possibly take Trey Gowdy's seat. I'm not saying it's the best choice or whatever, but that's who I'm voting for. That's who he was, a straight up libertarian, Ron Paul supporter. I can tell you, I can't tell you who I'm going to vote for governor yet, because I still got to do some research on that. That's a mixed up campaign going on too. Right now, I'm going to vote for Lee Bright just because he's a straight up libertarian.
So we all don't, as a nation, we don't all vote on the same day. Like, you guys didn't have voting today?
No.
All right. I just wasn't sure how that worked, because I always thought that it was kind of everything was done at the same time period for every state to keep it the same.
Now, I mean, of course, the national election, I mean, November 2nd is the official election. But for as primaries, I guess it's all over the board.
Yeah, ours was a few days ago.
Yeah, like I said, our big primary is coming up in June. So.
I'll tell you, our kids were they were just happier than horse shit that Donald Trump called our house yesterday. He called our house and he's like, what was the guy's name? Lou Bart something or other. But he's like, hey, this is Donald Trump. I'm just calling to, you know, if you're going out to vote, this is who I'm supporting for senator. He's my guy for senator or something like that. And it was like, the kids were like, oh my God, Donald Trump called our house.
That's freaking hilarious.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Hell yeah. At least I know who Donald Trump is. Shit.
Mm-hmm. The only bad thing is we as adults know the Monday before election day, you don't fucking answer the phone if you don't know the number, because it's for fucking 6-7 hours straight. All it is political robo.
Vote for me. Vote for me.
Yeah.
You're like, hell no.
What's that?
No, Frankie Gold.
Right.
They're asking about my guitar.
Well, the guy that Trump called, the guy that Trump called everybody in Pennsylvania to vote for, he ended up winning. So I guess that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Huge.
Well,
Huge.
Well, now like Trump is he officially endorsed our governor McMaster, but like I said, there's a lot of things about our governor. Just speaking on a personal term, my state. There's a lot of things I like about him. There's a lot of things I don't like about him. And he is a Republican. He is the sitting governor. I get that Trump would support him, but he is going up against a primary he might not win. He might not be the guy that we end up voting to be our governor. And on talk radio, the local stations I listen to, he will not do one interview. And if there's nothing else that I don't like about him, is the fact that he is not willing to be interviewed on radio live. Everybody else, because this talk radio station, they are ripping everybody a new asshole. You know, I mean, I get that they don't want to be there, but it's like, you know, let's hear it. Give me an excuse why you did this, that they're accusing you of this. And he won't do it. He will not do it whatsoever. He will not do an interview whatsoever. And I'm kind of like, you know what? Yeah, fuck him. But like I said, that's on a local level. Y'all don't know nothing about that. So
I got to see if the locals, not our county sheriff, but the next county over, the guy that basically committed a political suicide. Remember that story in Buncombe County? I want to see if he got any votes at all. Maybe he won because he's in Asheville. So fuck.
Was that the sheriff that said, "You want us to take it from your cold dead hands? We'll be there." Something like that.
Yeah, exactly. He says, okay.
Yeah.
I actually had a news article that I threw away. I was going to talk about it on one of the chats, but I forgot. But it was that same week that he had done that. He had gotten a ton of death threats or threats. I don't know if they were death threats or not, but it didn't say he went into hiding per se, but basically he had received a lot of threats. He's still in North Carolina, dumb fuck.
Yeah, and in North Carolina, for those that don't know, in North Carolina, you can open carry.
Yep.
Me being from South Carolina, I cross the border. I can go from concealed carry to open carry. Anybody, you don't have to have a license. You don't have to have a fucking anything. If you're in North Carolina, you just strap a fucking gun on your side and walk down the street.
Yep. I see people at the restaurant every once in a while. I think my favorite one is when we first moved here. The guy was probably 60s, 70s, somewhere in there. And he had like a really slim 1911 style, but it was like a smaller version. It wasn't like it was a government model or something. It was just thinner. Shit, it was probably a 22 or something. But he had it just flapping on a holster in the back there. My wife kind of kicked me under the table as he walked in. I go, yeah, I moved to the right state. I was like, yes.
Rick's trying to be a damn rock star. He's just dying to play that damn guitar. You got a song or something you want to play?
No.
Okay.
Play us a little Twinkle Twinkle.
No. I'll play you guys a beginning of a song and see if you can guess what it is.
All right, go ahead. Before we get serious.
All right. It's in the genre of country. That's all you get.
Johnny Cash.
Nope.
So say if it ain't Waylon Jennings or Johnny Cash, I ain't gonna recognize it.
I'll see if we get some guesses out there for. Oh.
Did they get it?
Nope.
Man, and years ago I was really into country, and I'm not getting it. See, that's what Bald and Curious just put out.
This is real country music played by a real cowboy. None of these jackalopes.
What was that? Some
No, I agree. Yeah, that was. I'm going to go with Bald and Curious's Three Amigos.
Three Amigos? No. that would be more like the song I played for TR. That's more of a Three Amigos song right there. Nope. I think the only guy that's possibly going to get it is
Fuzz.
No, not Fuzz. He might. This fucking thing. Uh-oh. Nope, not Marty Robbins. How about another hint is he was a bareback rider, a world champion bareback rider. It don't matter. Move on. I don't know if you guys will get it. If you can keep putting the in. Oh, there it is. Tread got it. Tread got it. Nicely done. Chris Ledoux.
Wait, I had never heard of that. So, yeah.
He was a badass bareback rider. He was a straight up legit real cowboy.
I ride bareback my entire life, other than a few hookers.
I did a little bull riding in my day.
Was it Gene Autry?
No,
somebody nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah.
Chris Indelux or some shit like that.
Chris Ledoux.
Ledoux does not.
He was playing for a long time, and Garth Brooks mentioned his name, a worn out tape of Chris Ledoux, and his career just blew up. It was awesome.
So it's a French country cowboy type deal.
No, that's just his name. He's probably could have been Canadian at some point in his family's life, but we can move on.
I just can't get over
this ain't the music show. Let's fucking move on already.
I just can't get over the fact that there's a country western singer out there with the last name of Ledoux. Ledoux. But it's probably actually Ledoux.
Ledoux.
All right, let's move on to at least a few minutes of the title of this video, being that I said it was going to be the Zionist edition, and we hadn't talked about it whatsoever. And you two guys have indicated that you don't really know about that movement, that subject. So I'm not going to dwell on it. But in the past, I have dealt with people who are anti-Zionist to the nth degree, because in the conspiracy world, and it's not even conspiracy. I mean, it's facts. You can look it up. There's facts to back up both sides of the story or whatever. But, and the only reason I want to bring it up and talk about it is because of Israel and us moving our embassy to Jerusalem, which is the capital of Israel, whether you want to fucking admit it or not. That's the capital, okay? Every president I know back to Clinton has promised to move our embassy to Jerusalem. Damn it, I'll get it out in a minute. And Trump did it, and there's all this uproar and holy shit, the stuff going on. I still dwell in the conspiracy world, but there is a lot of things that are not conspiracy. It's just fact. And Zionists, I know people who are in the Judaism religion, and they're God, there's so much stuff to cover. All right, and I've uploaded a video. It's probably up now because I started it before the chat. Not every Jew is a Zionist. Not every Zionist is a Jew. This is such a complicated, intricate, holy shit, going down the rabbit hole kind of subject to get into. That's why I said it in the video. You'll see it if you follow my channel. That's why I never talk about it, and that's why I don't even allow talk of it on my channel, because it's such a intricate, fucked up subject that I still, after 10 years of looking into it, I can't tell you an answer. I really can't. It's like people think that everything in the world is the Zionist fault, that the Jews are behind it. You know, they own the banks, they own this, they own that. It's all Jews are the problem. They're Zionists and they want to control the world. And then you have the other side. It's like, well, blah, blah, blah. It's holy shit. I don't even know how to fucking approach it anymore.
Is that different than the Illuminati kind of thing? No,
it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Is it part of the carpenters or the bricklayers or the union?
Yeah, the masonry.
The mason.
Yeah.
Part of that.
Yeah, and there's some truth to it. There's some truth to it. If you really look into it, there's some truth to it. But just because these people are Jewish doesn't mean that all Jewish people are for taking over the world. I mean, you could actually look at Muslims and Christians be the same thing. They want their religion to be the religion of the world. But the difference between what people think Zionist is like not as a religion, but as a power of government that takes over the world. But not all Zionists think that way. Most Zionists think that they just want a Jewish state. And if you do your research, if you really do your research and not just go on conspiracy theories, Zionists just wanted a Jewish state And they were actually looking at Texas, Alaska, a bunch of European countries. They didn't care where it was. They just wanted a Jewish state. And now that we have Daniel here, hopefully he's here, he can give us his opinion, because I'm sure he's well more educated on it than me. But it is a complex subject.
I don't know which ones, I mean, how it's divided or whatever, but Israel, it's the homeland of the Jews, period. I mean, since it ever even became, a religion. And their capital's always been Jerusalem. I mean, thousands of years. This other thing, other flip side, like it has in the Bible, about those that call themselves Jews, but they're not Jews, where you get into you can either worship God or you can worship money. Now you got the flip side of these other people that call themselves Jews, but what they're worshiping is money. So there is a strict line. There's ones that call themselves Jews and are not. And then there's other ones that want to practice the Jewish religion as it's always been. So, I mean, there is two separate factions on that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
And I agree with you. I don't know that there ain't a third faction in it, but
yeah, there could be.
Like I said, because I think they are Zionists that are in political power that do want to control the world. And that's where I see the point of view from conspiracy theorists that Zionists want to control the world. And it's like, well, they're in power. They are Jewish. But that doesn't necessarily mean that all Jewish people want to control the world and have one world government. Yeah. Those people do. I get it. But you can't label everybody. You can't throw them all under that same umbrella.
Right. I mean, just like, so you got some people who go out there and call themselves Christians, but here they're out whoring around and, Monday through Saturday, and then they go to church on Sunday. It's like, come on, really? I mean, you got good no matter where you go. You got people that are level-headed and really believe in what they believe in, or they just take an insurance policy out for it. And figure, the rest of the week they can act like total raving idiots. Hey, I just got a notification you're on tonight, TR.
Yeah, well, I know probably most people. I know Fuzz Fork out there. If he's still, Fuzz Fork's still out there. He knows exactly what we're talking about as far as Zionists. I know most people in the circles of being preppers and even conspiracy theorists, you have to go to the next level before you get into Zionism and how people latch onto that and run with it hard. I mean hard. And Daniel, I'm glad you're here. You may or may not know of the things I'm talking about, but it's been something that's irritated me on YouTube for several years, for a decade, matter of fact, of how people box everybody into, it doesn't matter if you had a fucking flat tire on the way home from work. These people are so hard against Jewish people, and I'm not for Jewish people. Like I said, I'm neutral, but they'll just, it's a Zionist. It's a Zionist. That's why you had a fucking flat tire. I mean, that's the kind of attitude. I've been on chats where it didn't matter what you talked about. It was a Zionist. It was a Zionist. And it was just like, holy shit, get the fuck off my back. Are you kidding me? And I don't even know how to explain it until you dwell that deep into the conspiracy theory mentality. Not mentality, but those people. And I'm a conspiracy theorist. Don't get me wrong. I love a good conspiracy theorist, but I will actually look at the facts, do my research, and come up with my own conclusion. I'm not going to take your opinion and every time, no matter what happens, it was Zionist. And that's what pissed me off in the past on chats, because I was on chats where we had a lot of people that were anti-Zionist, and it didn't matter what we talked about. It was the Zionist fault. It was the Zionist. I mean, it was just like, holy shit, I'm blocking people now. Just go away. And like I said, there are people in power that are Jewish, that are Zionist, and they do think that they should rule the world. But that doesn't mean it's all Zionist. It doesn't mean it's all Jewish people.
And you're going to, those people want to rule the world. They're not just Jewish. You have a lot of them that are in the Catholic Church, and you got a lot of them that's in politics. And I mean, but they're all working for the same goal. And as long as the left hand can advance the right hand, they're going to keep using each other. I mean, it comes down to what you see going on here with them trying to take away our guns. Once they take away our guns, that's when the U.S. will turn her back completely on Israel, and Israel will stand alone.
I'll go off, not off subject, but I have a, I don't know what you guys think, but if, let's just say on our Mexican border, they were tens of thousands of people, or hundreds of people, or at least thousands of people, and we did have a wall. And they were burning tires, throwing Molotov cocktails, throwing rocks. Not the rocks is a big deal. Shooting missiles, and our government shot back. What is your response to that if people from another country were attacking our border, trying to take the border down, trying to rush our border? What would you, and I want to ask Blue and Rick this, and you too, Daniel, if our government responded with force?
You would only have to kill a couple hundred of them before it stopped.
You're attacking our country. What do you expect?
Because if you make it a border, I mean, like a wall, you're going to put that a couple hundred yards actually in U.S. territory. You're not going to put it right on the border.
That's not true, Blue. The reason why I say that is the San Diego property is worth so much money. That shit's right on the fucking line.
No, but I mean, if they actually did a national wall, I mean, like a proper wall, you're going to move that back. And I would even say, sorry for the property owners down there along the border, at least a quarter mile back, so that any assault is actually on U.S. soil. If you were to meet that type of, I mean, because technically they're using deadly force against whoever's guarding the wall. You shoot a couple hundred of them, it's going to stop. And I'm not saying that out of hate. I'm not saying that out of anything other than I think that would be a fact.
Yeah, Blue, but you get a call, you respond to the call, and a guy has busted a hammer through the guy's window to try to attack the guy inside. Did he not go inside the guy's house?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But to be safe, I'm just saying this, to be safe, you move that wall, not right on the border. You might have like like whenever you go up to an embassy or you go up to a military base, you have levels of protection. You have your outer, your inner, and then you're right on the front door.
So you're talking about Korea shit.
No, I just think that would be the most quote unquote politically correct way to do it, is have separate layers of protection, all built from the U.S. to the wall. You don't get past this wall.
Well, yeah, I think y'all getting off tangent. If a group of thousands of people were trying to break even, I don't care if the wall is a quarter-mile out or on the line. If they're trying to breach it and they're throwing Molotov cocktails, they're burning tires to mask what they're doing. They're holding up babies in front of them as they're laying down mines like they did in Israel this week. And the response is firepower against them. Would we do anything different?
No. I'm gonna
So why is the left all up in arms? And don't get me wrong, any loss of life is terrible. It's horrible. Don't get me wrong. Okay, they're claiming that 50 Palestinians lost their life after thousands of them tried to breach a wall trying to cross a border. I'm not pro-Israel. I'm not for Israel. I'm this neutral as hell, but I'm telling you, if you try to breach our border with violence and we fight back, if you lose 50 people, oh fucking well, is all I can say.
Yeah, pretty sure that's what I said.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that you just pretty much echoed what I said, but I was doing it the safe way by having a first line of defense, second line of defense, and if you're still that violent and you're still that gun ho, you don't make it to that third and final barrier. I mean, that's.
Well, a lot of people don't. A lot of the news outlets, because I've been looking at this pretty heavy here the last day or two. It was all Hamas, which has been called out as a terrorist organization over and over for years and years and years. That was all Hamas that did that. And even some of the videos I seen where they were carrying victims off the side. Oh my God, look at all their. They had like one little bitty bandage on a fucking ankle. And it's like, there's not even any fucking blood. I mean, the guy, there's such a bad injury that you have to carry him off the field. And there's not even any blood on the Band-Aid. Come on. This is political propaganda. Like I said, I'm not trying to be so pro-Israel. I'm just calling it out for what it is. It's like the white helmets. I mean, it's bullshit. You are creating propaganda for the fucking media. I don't even believe 50 people were killed. If they were, so fucking be it. If you try to bust in my fucking door, I'm going to shoot your ass. I don't give a fuck. And it had nothing to do with politics. It's no different with Israel. You try to bust down their door and they shoot you, oh fucking well.
If it's one person busting in your house or 50.
Exactly.
This sticker applies to each and every one of them.
I have that sticker on my safe.
Shoot him in the face.
I like that sticker.
Works for everything. Guy slashes your tire to guy breaks into your house.
Oh God, you guys, please tell me, and I hate to get off topic, but this is too good not to even mention. Please tell me you guys saw there was a female off-duty police officer, and I don't know where it was, outside of her school, taking her kids to school. Some guy walks up.
That was in Brazil.
Was that Brazil?
That's fucking Brazil.
Fuck, the way they made that sound, that was like in the U.S. somewhere.
Nope, Brazil.
Ah, fuck. It's still a cool story though.
Hell yeah.
She smoked that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely smoked him. And the bad
temperature challenge, and he lost.
She smokes him. He falls down. She takes cover behind a car. The person jumps in their car and tries to leave. Which, I mean, you know, everybody in their right mind is probably going to try to do that. But still, that's God, the way I can't believe that was Brazil. The way the websites I saw that on, it portrayed it like it was an American.
No. You would be amazed how much shit. I watched that one channel. I can't think of what it is right offhand, where he talks about, you know, keeping your eyes up and head around and on a swivel and all that shit. But 90% of his videos are from Brazil. I mean, I would just hate to be in that shitstorm over there.
There's no way in hell you're gonna get me out of the United States right now. You can't go to Cancun. You can't go to Brazil. You can't go to Costa Rica of all the shit going on.
Yeah.
The last video I seen, and I don't even know what time period it was, but it was like they were talking about 140 people's been killed in Cancun.
Yep.
The last time I was out of country was in Cancun, and it was a little tropical paradise in the 90s. Now, hell no, unless they let me take my gun, I'm not going to Cancun, and they won't let me get on the plane with my gun to fly to Cancun. So, fuck it, I guess I'm stuck in South Carolina.
I just had a buddy probably a month ago came back from Cancun, and then it was either the day he got back or the day after. They found, like, I think it was 9 Americans shot on a beach somewhere.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, just type in. It was within the last month. Cancun beach shooting or Cancun.
Well, those cartels, they were around the border in Tijuana and all that, but they've come down in the country of Mexico where they're infiltrating the entire fucking country now, and they're kidnapping people. It doesn't matter if it's for $200 American dollars. They'll kidnap somebody for $200 or $100, $50. They don't give a shit. That's how bad it is there. You do not want to be in Mexico.
All right, here. This was on April 12th of 2018. 14 people reported killed in 36 hours in Cancun near the tourist destinations. He literally flew back in on the 14th.
Yeah. And Cancun is a tourist destination, period. It's a little peninsula. It kicks off. It's like a long little, it's kind of like Pensacola. They got like a long little island. Yeah.
You stuck once you pass that border.
It's a shit show down there. And now it's migrating into the United States. And then you have the liberals that's like claiming, oh, well, we got to love everybody. No, fuck, no, we don't. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there's not good people in Mexico. I'm not saying that everybody in Mexico is bad. But we don't have to invite freaking drug dealers and cartels and rapists and killers into our country and say that we're, hey, well, we got to be all loving to everybody. No, we don't.
No, you don't. We are supposed to protect our own first, and that means keeping everybody out until they're vetted, re-vetted, and then possibly vetted again. And we still get it wrong.
Mm-hmm. But at least go through the process.
That's like in PA, one of the governor races. There is a female. I don't know her name, but she is obviously not of country, and she is pushing for more sanctuary cities in Pennsylvania, more immigration, more this, and it's just like, what the fuck? And if we continue to let these, and just for a lack of better term, I'm going to call them outsiders. We continue to let outsiders in, they are going to end up being the popular vote in the very near future, and we're going to see more of this shit.
Well, I've said it before, probably more on Facebook than on YouTube. The reason the Democrat Party has latched on to the immigrant population, especially illegal immigrant population, is they're looking for a new voter base.
Mm-hmm. Because
they're losing the voter base they have. Yep. Black voters are waking up. They're like, wait a minute, they're not really looking out for us. They're just trying to keep us down. They're keeping us as a white guy, maybe I can't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's my fucking chat. If you are black and you are a hardcore Democrat, you are begging to stay on the fucking plantation. Democrats have put you on the plantation. They fought against your voter rights. They fought against your freedom. It was Republicans that fought for your freedom, your voting rights, your ability to go out and be a productive person, to be whatever you wanted to be. It was the Republicans. And the Democrats fucking hate that any of them wake up and realize that. The KKK were fucking Democrats. They were not fucking Republicans. All right. I've probably gone too far.
I think that was probably years ago when you went too far there, TR.
But it's true.
It is true. You know, you said it. I've said it before. And yeah, the Republicans is just this new mindset. They changed the meaning of liberal. Before, a liberal was somebody who just didn't want government messing with us, but now liberal is let's hug all the foreigners and let's make the white guy the evil one.
Yeah.
I was on a chat earlier tonight, and folks were talking about long-term storage and stuff. So besides PVC pipe, what is the best way to store metal objects and then clean them off after they've been stored for a long time? Read between the lines. I just think regular marina grease and brake parts cleaner for cleaning them off when you pull them out. That's probably about the best. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, literally, and I've flown, and if people have seen my chats, I think here not long ago, I had the rebel flag flying, and I didn't fly it because I was a race card member and believed in, whatever. It had more to do with states' rights, which is why the Civil War started. No matter what people say, that's what it started. But I don't believe in slavery and oppressing other races whatsoever. And that's the whole thing with the Zionism thing. Like I said, that I titled this chat with, because Zionism has nothing to do with race. It has to do with if you delve into the rabbit hole deep enough, it has to do with people in power wanting to control the world and wanting a one world government. It's not Jewish people in particular. Yes, there are a lot of Jewish people that want to control the world, but they're not alone, and their buddies are not Jewish. And like I said, Jewish is a religion. It's not a fucking race. Anybody can be a Jew. For anybody that didn't know that out there, that Jewish people are fucking Arabs. They're the same as the Muslims. They just chose a different religion. You can get technical and say, well, these people from this region were blah blah blah, but they're all from the same place. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's just true. Being Jewish is not a race; it's a religion. Ivanka, Trump's damn daughter, is Jewish. Okay.
Yeah, there was a bunch of people who went to Israel from our church a couple of weeks ago, and they met a guy that actually grew up on the block next to him, and he'd never, he's converting into Judaism, and he's got to go to a board of elders and stuff after he's done with school, and so he can become Jewish, and he's going to settle there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, TR, you're right. Anybody can become Jewish.
I saw some video on Facebook the other day. It was the first Korean woman Jewish priest, or a rabbi. I guess it would be a rabbi.
Well,
It's a religion. It's not a race. Just like being a Muslim is not a race. If you ban certain people from entering the country from based on where they're from, what their religious ideologies are, because they want to kill fucking Americans, that is not a racial thing. You cannot call banning these Islamic radicals from entering our country as being a fucking racist. No, they are a fucking religious extremist that want to kill us. It has nothing to do with race. It's their religion and what their intent is. And there's nothing wrong with saying, you know what? We might not want to let these people in because they want to kill us. Don't call me racist for that. And if you call me racist, fuck you. You're fucking ignorant.
Yeah. Anywhere where you get where people want to wipe out another people, that's not on the individual person level. That is politics. Period. Some people call it religion. Some people, politics. No, it is politics. Because I've been around this world and I have met all different peoples around this world, and we have gained personal relationships, and people all want the same thing: a roof over their head, clothes, food for their kids, and a better future for their kids. We all want the same. But when you get into the politics of it, where you want to, go out there and say all Christians are bad, all Jewish people are bad, it's politics. And that's where the people in power want to put down a group or organization to further their own agenda.
Yep. It's a mess. It is a big, big mess. And I don't know what the answer is. Never claimed to have it. But you have to understand all of it. You can't watch football on Sunday and not pay attention to anything that's going on in the world and then have a reasonable conclusion of what's going on in the world. I'm not down on anybody, but I'm just saying, if you're not paying attention, you don't really have a good opinion of what's going on. And unfortunately, most of the world, especially Americans, are not paying attention. They watch a little bit of news and they can, oh, this is what's happening. And I watch CNN, MSNBC, and all those channels enough to see them. Not that I think Trump's great. Don't get me wrong. I think Trump's doing a good job. I think he's honest. But if you watch their channels, holy shit, Trump's bringing down the world. He is the worst thing that ever happened, blah, blah, blah. But if you don't open your eyes and look at both sides and come up with your own evaluation of what's going on, most people have no idea of what's going on in the Middle East. They have no freaking idea. None. And I'm worried that Trump gets bad information about what's going on in the Middle East, and he's going on that. I don't agree with everything Trump's doing in the Middle East.
Well, the answer coming all down to everything that's going down here in the U.S. when they took God out of public schools, and you're talking morals here, and they're saying all rights are now going to be what we in the government tell you what your rights are going to be. I mean, That's what it's coming down to. There's no absolute wrong or right anymore. Whatever's wrong or right is what the government wants to tell you what is wrong or right. So the answer is just put God back into school and just stick with a good moral code, and where it teaches for men to be men and to be a good example for young men out there, and bring them up, teach them to be men, because as long as you keep raising children, all you're going to have is children in adult bodies. That's the closest to a sermon you're going to get tonight from me.
Well, I think you do need to bring your children up to be men. And I was blessed with the fact that my dad did want me to think for myself. I mean, he instilled a lot of his beliefs in me, but at the same time, he wanted me to search for my own answers. And he instilled that if there's nothing else I can give praise to my father, is he didn't tell me what kind of man I needed to be. He taught me his values, but at the same time, he wanted me to search out to be who I wanted to be.
He taught you to be a critical thinker.
Yeah.
And not just take someone else's word for it. And that's not being taught to the youth of today on how to be, in general, on how to be a critical thinker, to come up there and make up your own mind about what is right, what is wrong. There's just way too many sheeple out there.
Mm-hmm. And social media, and I'm not talking about YouTube, especially this chat, but social media has made it so easy for everybody to be that Monday morning quarterback after something has happened with a snippet of a video or one photo, to where they're ready to form a lynch mob to go after somebody who is completely in the right. How do we stop that? I mean, I don't think there is a way. Except for internet neutrality.
Well, the whole social media thing in your newspapers, that went away with, it's propaganda. And government can use on the American citizen. It used to be outlawed, and it no longer is. That just happened here in the last few years.
And I'm so sick and tired of seeing just this onslaught of individuals that get a snippet of, all right, let's just say, and I'm just using, well, no, I don't want to use that because that would make me sound racist. I don't care what color, creed you are, file a complaint against the law enforcement that they unjustly did this on you, they did this. So now all of a sudden you have 2,000 people that want to do a riot, and then 3 weeks later, the body cam video comes out, which shows, you're a lying son of a bitch. This never happened. And this is actually what happened from the point of view from the officer. I think I'm glamming onto that because I see more of that. But it's like, what the fuck? Why are people so willing to take one person's, no evidence, no anything? It's just, this is my story. And then they're willing to go to war over it just for a couple weeks later to see, damn, that bitch was stupid, or damn, that guy was stupid. You know, I mean,
well, what sells newspapers is printed on page 1, and what was wrong in newspaper, the retractions, is on the back page of 19.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, Blue, it'll probably pop up in your feed because me and you are friends on Facebook, but I either reposted it or at least commented. I hope I did, because I'm starting to figure out how Facebook works. If you comment on something, other people in your friends list will see it. If you like something, that don't mean shit for us. Other people seeing it. But anyway, the head of the NAACP in South Carolina, state level, made some kind of big story about how he was harassed and he was just like, thrown to the fucking, they just railroaded my ass and all this stuff and blah, 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 blah. And then the police chief released the body cam video of the officer that pulled him over because the guy was parked in the middle of the street with his flashers on, and the police officer approached his car and was like, hey, what's going on? Why are you blocking traffic here? And then he asked for the guys, the head of the NAACP in South Carolina's license and registration. And the guy refused. This went on for a freaking hour. This guy would not give his license and registration to him. And so by the end of it, he done gave him like 27 freaking tickets, And then he refused to sign them. So he had to write another ticket. Okay, well, you refuse to sign, and And the officer, holy shit, he had more restraint than I did because he was polite as fuck the entire time. They ended up having like 4 or 5 police cars around there because they didn't know what the hell was going on. Surrounded it, blocked off traffic, and the whole time, this was just over, hey, you're stopped in the middle of the road. What's going on? Can I see your license registration? That was it.
Mm-hmm.
And he refused the entire time. And then he did a, whatever media it was online of how he was harassed because he was a black man. It shows the racism. Look what this racist cop did to me and blah, blah, blah. But then when they released the video, it was like, dude, even as a white guy, that son of a bitch would have probably wiped the fucking street with my ass. Mm-hmm. Is the asshole that you was during this entire thing. But he was like so polite. I was like, okay, well, all right. Here you. Oh, you don't want to sign it? Okay, well, all right. I'm going to fill out this other form that you won't sign it, and I'm going to give them all to you. And you need to show up in court.
Yeah. I mean, it happens all the time. I mean, and it doesn't matter what affiliation you're with. I mean, because right now there's a Florida cop, and he is under so much fucking scrutiny because there's like a 30-second video. Florida cop beats daughter in high school office or something like that. Basically, from what I'm seeing, everything I'm seeing, she disrespected a teacher, talked back to the teacher, was doing whatever. There's no audio with this video from anything that I've seen. There might be audio out there, but he, as a dad, he's not in uniform. He's not in anything. He is showing up to the school as dad. He is pissed that his daughter disrespected the teacher, disrespected whoever, and he fucking smacks her. Like fucking just bam, smacks her. And he might have went a little too far whenever he grabs her hair and pulls her toward him. But she's obviously, I don't know what the right word to say. She's obviously has issues with people in authority. I don't care if it's dad, the police, the school officials. And he's been dealing with this for a while. That's in my opinion. He grabs a hold of her and by the hair, and he's not yanking her around. He's not, slamming her head off things, but he's holding her there, and he fucking gives her another fucking crack across the face. As a parent, I'm okay with that. I mean, does that make me a bad parent that if my kid's teacher calls me and says, and I don't know the situation in Florida, but if my kid's teacher calls me and says, I asked your daughter to do this, She told me to fuck off. She told me go blow a goat. She told me to do this. If I show up at the school, I would probably have enough restraint not to do that at the school, but at home, oh, you're goddamn right. If it's 100% justifiable that whatever, that you told a teacher to fuck off, you did this, and this kid has, just by what I'm seeing, obviously has issues, I'm all for it. I am all for a fucking backhand to the mouth. I am all for, and I'm not talking about an 8-year-old kid. This is like a 16-year-old teenager. You know, I'm okay with that. Am I wrong with that?
Well, Blue,
No.
Blue, in today's society and the job that you have, if you went on a call and a woman or a girl said, they grabbed me by the hair and they smacked me on the face and they had marks on their face, what's happening to that guy?
Yeah, he's for domestic, absolutely.
I mean,
he's arrested, but you have to look at it different through which I have, and which I've said many times, which I'm not going to get into. I almost got suspended for not arresting somebody for fucking smacking their kid across the mouth for telling the mom to fuck off. I'm not going to get into it, but I've said that many times. I felt that was okay. I was like, man, that's discipline. That is 100% discipline.
I am 100% for discipline. Okay. And, you know, that includes the, you know, getting a belt on the butt or the switch, period. Because if you, and give discipline is just showing that you love your kid. I mean, but today's society has got most people scared to even try to go and get discipline.
Well, I've been slapped by my mother. I've been only one time, and my dad did whip me, and I know I've talked about this before. I mean, his whippings lasted months because I didn't want another whipping, because he was, I won't say brutal, but he was very convincing that I didn't want another whooping, you know.
Right.
But there was one time my dad actually used his fist on me. And this is not a sad story. Don't get me wrong. I'm not asking for fucking sympathy or whatever, because I was drunk. I was 18. I flipped over a freaking car, wrecked, and I freaked my dad out. And when he got me back to the house, he literally beat my ass with his fucking, I mean, he fucking beat me. I mean, it's not like he had me by the throat beating me, but he was just like cussing me out. And I just had my head down, and he was like, and he would just like, bam, fucking hit me. And for those that don't know, I mean, I'm the runt of the family. I'm the shortest, smallest little fucking guy in our family. I'm 6 foot tall. My dad's like huge, where he was. He's passed away now, but huge, big guy. He fucking beat the shit out of me. And I took it because, you know what? I fucked up. I was drunk and I flipped a car over. I knew I fucked up and I accepted everything. I just, yeah, Daddy. Yeah, I know. Yeah, bam! And he would fucking hit me again. I mean, I scared the shit out of him because I could have died. And it just freaked him the fuck out. And until this day, even, rest in peace, Dad. But I don't hold any hard feelings about it, because if the roles were reversed, I understand where he's coming from, because I scared the shit out of him. He showed up and cars all flipped over and shit and in a ditch, and there I am, and he's like, what? I mean, I almost died. I could have died, and I like I said, that night, I didn't hold any hard feelings against him, because he was pissed. He was mad. He was scared.
No,
and he beat the shit out of me.
What you should have done is you should have gone to the county court and filed a lawsuit that your dad abused you, filed a lawsuit for a monetary value, and then you got the media involved so that they would see the abuse, and that you completely fucked up, but you know what? No, this shouldn't have happened. Fuck you guys. Fuck not you guys. Fuck the media for portraying this bullshit of no, you don't walk into class and tell your teacher, F you, F this, I ain't doing nothing. Fuck. You know what? Not quite. Well, no, yeah, it was back in my day in high school. If I would have said fuck off to a teacher, guaranteed you're getting a fucking paddle by the teacher and probably the principal because you disrespect. And then when you get home, you fucking get the belt because you fucked up. And
yeah, exactly.
These dumbasses, it's not that we're trying to make our kids conform. We just want them to be respectful. We want them to grow up as contributing adults,
responsible adults.
I don't want any of my kids to fucking grow up screaming at the sky because they didn't get their way. I don't want my kids going to a college and having to have a fucking place to go where they can cry because their feelings got hurt by an assignment and they reject that. No, you look at the college you go to, you know what the curriculum is. That's what you're going for. That's what you do. Don't deviate from that. Don't. I could go in.
Well, these safe spaces and horse shit that they do nowadays was with school, grammar school, middle, high, college. That ain't the real life. It's not real life. When you get out into the world, there is no safe spaces. There is no ponies to pet at work to get your feelings back where they need to be. No, life is hard. Life sucks. Life is a bitch. Fucking deal with it. And if you don't teach your kids to deal with it when they're young, they sure as hell ain't going to deal with it as an adult.
Nope.
You got to learn how to fail. And that way, that's how you learn how to stand up again and work harder.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in our house, I mean, my house, I'm pretty lenient as a parent. I got 3 young kids. Oldest is 11. If they fuck up at school, if they fuck up with whatever, the first thing is no electronics. That fucking devastates them. Even though they don't get it that often. You know what? No electronics. You're done for a week, 2 weeks, depending on what you did. If it's a serious enough quote unquote violation. I mean, my parents, I got suspended from school for having a fucking pack of firecrackers. Like there's like 20 in a pack. You light them and they go bang, 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 bang. My parents, instead of coddling me and saying, oh God, they shouldn't have done this. They shouldn't have done that. I got suspended for 3 days. That was the worst 3 days of child labor I ever went through. It wasn't a day off or 3 days off of school where you get to do whatever you want. No, fuck no. I was cleaning gutters, cleaning ditches, raking the driveway, fucking pruning bushes. You know, that's what you fuck up. You need to learn a lesson. If you don't want to do hard labor, don't do the stupid shit.
The only way that could have been better, Blue, is if they made you clean the school's gutter and use a push mower, rotary one, and be out there mowing the lawn where everybody in school could see and make fun of you.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. And I took so much shit. I take a lot of shit for what I do at work. I really do. We had a couple years back, the seniors did a quote unquote senior prank to where they broke into the school. They threw eggs, they toilet paper, they fucking, stupid shit, which could be cleaned up. There was no permanent damage. These kids could have faced felony burglary, felony this, felony that, institutional vandalism, this, that, and everything else. Between us and the district attorney's office, we came up with, all right, all these kids are going to get a goddamn stupid summary that's not going to follow them through life. and they were sentenced to community service, to work in the school during the summer when they should have been off. They mowed, they trimmed, they cleaned lockers, they did this. You know, that's what it's supposed to be. I mean, I just, God, I don't get, I don't get the coddling, the, oh my God, well, this was just a senior prank. But I'll tell you what, on the parent side, we had everything from parents saying, no, I want my kid charged with a felony so they know what they're dealing with going through life, to we punish them too hard with a summary. And it's like, what the fuck?
Now, the punishment should always fit the crime.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they started fires in the building or they used spray paint. Everything could be cleaned up. And technically what happened was they did this. They went in, they threw eggs, they did toilet paper. They put like sticky notes up all over the place, you know, stupid shit. The janitors showed up at like 5 o'clock in the morning and the kids were still in the building. They didn't even call the police whenever they found the kids in the building. They grabbed a hold of these kids and were like, clean this shit up, clean it up now. So there was like 15 kids cleaning up the shit that they just did. So when the students showed up for the class, they had no idea that this, you know, quote unquote senior prank went on. And to me, that was perfect punishment right there. The janitors didn't clean it up. The kids did, you know, you make the parents aware. Hopefully they do the corrective action, but no, unfortunately, law enforcement gets involved and, you know, a couple other steps have to be taken. But God, I mean, those kids, seriously, I mean, and it was everything from, you know, you have the high school mom to the kid that is never going to go anywhere, to the kid that's already been accepted to the Army, to the Marines, to the Air Force, to the honor school student. I mean, it was the whole, you know, the whole pot that you could possibly have. And man, we took so much shit for that. And I'm like, you know what? Most of these kids aren't going to leave our area. Most of them are not. Do you want them to start off life as a 17, 18-year-old with a felony so they can do nothing?
And I blame the school system for that, because they're not teaching them how to be creative. I mean, throwing eggs, that's just being destructive. That's kind of throwing a fit. Why can't they be creative? Like, get some skunks and have them, you know, with the stink glands taken out, get about 5 or 6 of them and stick them in lockers. And then when people get to school in the morning, they open their lockers. Now they got skunks running around. Now that would be funny.
Oh God, thank God they didn't do that.
Well, this gets back to a little bit of something you've touched on, Blue, a few times. Why do we have to involve law enforcement in our civil disputes? I don't care if it's 2 neighbors and they need to slug it out. 2 high school kids that, you know, they got a problem and they slug it out. And hey, I'm not advocating fighting. I'm just saying, why can't people work out problems without involving law enforcement? The leaves falling off my tree or falling on your lawn, and you call the law. What the fuck?
But it happens.
Everything seems to be like we got to involve the law enforcement. Basically, well, if there's a problem, we need to involve government. Why do we have to involve government? No, we don't have to involve the government. We can solve this issue between ourselves, whether it's have a fist fight or have a conversation. There's no reason to involve government in most situations.
I agree. Absolutely agree. Why? I mean, same thing, just going back to the high schools. Why, when little Jimmy gets pissed off at Johnny for stealing his girlfriend and he pops him in the mouth, why does fucking law enforcement have to get involved in that? It was a one-time deal. Johnny was pissed at Jimmy for stealing his girlfriend. Let the school handle it. Suspend them both for a couple days and boom, problem solved. You know, but there again, on the flip side of that, the reason that law enforcement is getting involved more and more and more is little Jimmy steals little Johnny's girlfriend. Now Johnny comes to school with a gun. You know, and it's where was that breakdown at? Where are we at that is now happening?
Well, the moral compass of America has been definitely askewed, because I know at least my generation, maybe yours, Blue. I know me and Daniel, we're about the same age. We would have never thought about bringing a gun to school to shoot people. We might have brought a gun to school to show somebody, hey, look at this cool shotgun I just got. You know, but I have never, ever in my life, no matter how much I hated somebody, wanted to kill them and others just to make a point. And that's where our moral compass has skewed so bad. And you can take this back, and I don't care if I'm right or wrong or whatever. And I'm sure generations before me even said that about my generation. But when you take the discipline out and coddle aggression upon others, you coddle it. Well, yeah, you're right. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. We got to give them this because little Johnny, no, fuck that. Whip little Johnny's ass. And then later on in life, he won't be fucking shooting people. Because we've coddled people too long.
I mean, like you said, yeah, your dad, my dad. I could count how many times he spanked my butt. I could count them on one hand and probably take away the thumb, because he did them very well. And it taught me two things. One, don't do it. And two, if you're going to do it, don't get caught. And if you get caught, shut up and take it.
Yeah. Every ass whooping I got, I knew when I was getting it, I deserved it because he was right. I lied about something. Almost every whipping I got was over me lying about something. That's why I'm not a good liar today. That's why I won't. If you cut, I don't care who it is on YouTube, me dating women, whatever. If they ask me a question, I will tell them the truth every time, because mainly my memory sucks. So I can't keep up with a lie. So I'm just going to tell you the truth, because I can't. If I lie to you, then I got to remember what lied. I can't lie to you because my memory's not that good. And I've told every woman I've dated, even the woman I'm dating now, don't ask me a question you don't want to hear an answer to, because I'll tell you the truth, because I don't know any different.
And look at you today, a fucking adult with a house, with cars, with bikes, with chickens, with this and with the life you're happy with. And that's what it's about. It's not about fucking these people that go out to try to get a lawsuit so they don't have to work. That's what pisses me off. I mean, that really does. I mean, it's almost like there's generations being born, not just talking about the welfare system, that milk the system to goat a police officer into doing something, to, oh, this firefighter didn't do this, so therefore I ended up with a broken pinky, so I don't have to work. I'm going to have to do this so I can sue this person. You know what? Fuck off. I mean, that's the only words I got. Fuck off. Grow a set of balls. The court systems need to stop these frivolous lawsuits. If I break into your house and you fucking shoot me and I sue you and win, there's something fucking wrong with that. Number one, you didn't kill me. And number two, I'm able to sue you for trying to break into your house and maybe cause harm to you or steal your shit.
Yeah, and number two is the worst part. Is
Yeah.
the most fucked up part.
Yeah. How the fuck can I, as a person, I don't care whoever you are, I don't care what color, creed, anything. If I break into your house to do harm and or steal and you catch me and I end up being shot, how the fuck can any court system anywhere say, all right, well, TR, maybe you should have talked to him a little bit and, you know, send him to the bathroom, which is your safe space, so that he could think about what he did and let him leave. I mean, what the fuck?
And, you know, there are states in the Union, in the United States, for those that don't understand what I'm talking about, that you can't defend your property. If somebody breaks into your house, and as long as they state they're just there to steal shit, you actually have to let them take your TV, jewelry, whatever, and stand there and not defend it.
That's a duty to retreat states.
Duty to retreat states.
Now, Blue, before we need to back up a couple steps here. Your whole argument right now on the one is invalid, because right now I am very offended, and I think you and I have a really good lawsuit that we could pursue. Because what is this? You got two bald guys with a mohawk in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on.
We could win this no matter what.
Yeah.
I even got product in my hair. I stood it up a little bit for the chat.
I just wish that as a nation, as states, as whatever, stop the bullshit. You know, stop this bullshit where, what was the last one? The one I just saw where somebody broke into a house with a gun. The person shot them 5 times. Like the homeowner shot them 5 times. They're suing because 5 times was too many. No, fuck you. Absolutely. You break into my fucking house, you walk up behind me right now with a gun or a machete or a knife right here. I guarantee I'm fucking turning around, fucking putting as many in as it takes for you to fucking go down or drop the fucking knife. And then we'll fucking discuss it later. But yet it's acceptable to sue me for defending myself. What the fuck? Stop that shit at the fucking bottom level. No, you broke into this person's house. You fucking took the risk, or the deceased took the risk. You have no right to sue that person. God, and that just...
Yeah, I mean, they have literally painted us into a box because in South Carolina, I have no duty to retreat, and that includes my vehicle, me standing on the sidewalk, me being in the hotel room. It doesn't matter. Anywhere I'm in this state, I have no duty to retreat. So if you come after me, I'm going to put at least 2 shots in your chest, period.
I want to tell you what, I gained a lot of respect for some police officers in their training here yesterday. I mean, if you're close enough to touch the shoulder of the other guy, the first 2 shots when they draw is going for your manlyhood. The next 2 shots is your heart. The next 2 shots after that's in your head. And if you're still moving after that, well, I guess you don't need to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you mean to do me harm, I don't know. I guess I'm a cold-hearted son of a bitch. If it's you or me, it's going to be me every time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And if people don't realize this, if you hit somebody in the spine, if you hit somebody, from what I've been taught, unless I'm incorrect, if you hit somebody in the spine, dead center in their chest, and it hits their spine, dead.
Yeah. If not dead, if you missed a vital organ somehow and just hit the spine, they ain't going to move from that point down. Yeah. I mean, and I'm not, I am not advocating go out and kill people, go do this. But if you're defending yourself and you get sued. That is so fucked up. That
Yeah.
is.
Well, I can tell you this from a personal. Maybe I don't know. I hadn't had to do the other. I've been in war, and I hadn't had to raise my weapon at another human. But I have had to put a few animals down, pets. And I can tell you right now, for 100%, I could shoot a human easier than I could shoot a dog or a cat if they meant harm to me.
Absolutely.
The worst thing I've ever done is put one of my own fucking pets down. But if you, as a human, meant bodily harm to me or another loved one, or even another civilian, period, I'm not going to let another person be shot, maimed, killed, raped by another person while I can do something about it.
Right.
I can end your life without a blink of an eye before I allow that to happen. But it killed me to fucking put down my own pet.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it's everyday stuff. I mean, goddamn. I mean, and again, I'm going back to the cop stuff because that's what I keep getting fed. You know, if I come up to your car and you fucking, I don't care if it's a cell phone. If you're holding it like a fucking gun and you point it at me, I don't have enough time to decipher if it's a cell phone, if it's a gun, if it's one of those goddamn, and this, I'm all for the Second Amendment, but I absolutely 100% disagree with anybody, and I mean anybody. TR, Daniel, if one of you two guys had a gun, a real gun that looked like you remember the old Nintendo Duck Hunt gun? That's popular now. That it looks like a toy, but it's real. I cannot take, I'm not going to go home because you decide to pull out a Nintendo Duck Hunt gun, which I don't know if it's real or not. If you pull out an airsoft gun, which I don't know if it's real or not. If you make the motion with a cell phone, you know, I mean, oh, my cell phone is
Blue, trust me. If you're a law-abiding citizen, I haven't done anything wrong, and you pull me over, I'm going to do whatever the fuck you tell me. Even like my buddy Tool Monkey, he's been pulled over a few times for, you know, like seatbelt violation and speeding or something like that. You know what he done? And he told me this. He had his window down already. He put his hands out the window, and when the police officer come up to the door, he was like, I forget the exact conversation, but, you know, he was telling me about it. He was like, "Oh, so you do have a concealed weapon?" And he's like, "Yes, sir." And well, I appreciate you showing me your hands. And blah 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 blah. I gave him a little citation, whatever. I'm not. There's nothing. I'm a law-abiding citizen. Okay, I may speed. I may do some miscellaneous little violations against the law. If you bust me for it, so fucking what? I'm not going to fucking try to kill a cop to get out of a fucking speeding ticket. You know? Okay, I got a gun on me. You got me. I'm speeding. Write me a ticket. I'm done. Okay? You know, I'm okay. I'm not robbing banks. I'm not fucking dealing drugs. I'm not fucking gang banging and all this shit. The only ones that fucking resist that shit and fucking fight it is they got something to fucking hide. Not that I'm Johnny on the spot. I'm fucking pure as hell. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not doing those things. There, you know, I don't give a damn even if I like to smoke pot. If you smoke pot and it's illegal in your state and you got a joint in the fucking ashtray, the cop's not going to kill you. You're not going to jail for 20 fucking years for having a fucking joint. I don't give a damn what state you're in. Just fucking give me your license and be cordial and you'll be okay.
Okay. I mean, even in PA, I mean, just like what you just said, you know, you have a joint in the fucking center console. As soon as the fucking cop walks up, they know. I mean, fucking weed stinks. You know, should weed be legal? My personal opinion, yes, it should be in certain situations. I mean, I don't want you fucking smoking a bunch of weed and driving down the road. However, the state says you can't have it. You can't do this. You can't do this. You can't do this. Yes, I may take you into custody. But as long as you're a decent human being and you're not that fucking rattling off at the mouth and you make me arrest you, I'm fucking taking it. I'm stomping it out. I'm fucking destroying it. You might get something in the mail, but you're leaving. You're leaving that situation. I'm leaving that situation. I don't get why people think that they have the right to take another life. I don't care if it's law enforcement or somebody else over something so fucking stupid. And Christ, there's been people fucking killed for blowing grass clippings into the neighbor's yard. You know, I mean, what the fuck are you thinking? You should not be a member of society.
I mean, TR, we're the same age. And when we were teenagers, when did we not have a roach in the ashtray?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when I was in high school there for a year or two, I was a pothead. I wanted. I don't deny it now. I'll tell you now. Yeah, I was a freaking pothead in high school. I did quit. I quit doing it. I don't smoke pot now, but I don't give a damn if somebody smokes pot because I did it myself. I don't give a shit.
I just think it's so laughable back then because it's like, dude, give me some gum. I mean, that way get rid of the smell off my breath. You roll down the windows.
It kills me when people are, well, it don't kill me, it kills them, to resist policemen so bad. And I've seen, because I got a few people on Facebook that are just like cop haters. The only reason I'm still subbed or friends with them, whatever, is just to kind of see what kind of bullshit they're posting, to be honest. And I call them out on it here and there, but and I'm not Johnny Boy Scout. I'm not a perfect human. I'm not a perfect person. I screw up. I fuck up. I'm not perfect by no means, but I think I do pretty good. I try to do the right thing. I try to treat people respectfully. Not trying to get too deep, but you know, a lot of the stuff, I'm not saying cops don't fuck up, and Blue is, as a police officer, he'll call them out firsthand too. If they fuck up, if they do the wrong thing, hey, boom, that guy should be punished because he fucked up. He should go to jail. He fucked up so bad, he should go to jail. Mm-hmm. And I think Blue is okay with calling out when somebody fucks up. And it's no different with us as citizens. If you fuck up that bad, you need to pay the price. But to call out everybody is, you know, to call out every cop as being a bad cop is stupid, and I don't accept it, and I won't hear it. I won't, it's whatever. And getting back to the Zionists, I mean, just because somebody believes in the Jewish state, I'm not going to accept you calling every one of them out. It just goes on down the list. We are humans. They're technically, I think, there is no race. We are all human beings. And if we can't figure out how to fucking live together and coexist as human beings, we have a big problem. And that's what we should be concentrating on. Not to get too deep, but that's just my thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're already at the 2-hour mark, and I hate to be the fucking the drone of death here, but I got to get up and go to work here at some point. So
Yeah, I saw that. That's kind of why I was winding it up. All right, Blue. You want to do an outro?
No, just everybody that's still here. I thank you guys for being here. Just send out a couple. I don't care if you believe in God, white light, thoughts, prayers, whatever. Send out a couple prayers for my boy Goose. Mother's Day. Thought he had a stroke. He's all messed up in the head, and the doc says he's going to come out of it okay in a couple days. So just keep that out there for me, and I appreciate everything. And TR, thanks for the great chat yet again. And there again, just as a disclaimer, you know, we're talking about real life shit. If you don't like it, don't watch it. That's it.
Well, thanks, Blue. I do appreciate your point of view, and anytime you can be in, I love having you on. And yes, thoughts out to your partner. Make sure and keep Blue's partner in your thoughts there. Daniel, you have any last thoughts?
I didn't have a first thought. But yeah, thanks for the invite. I think when I was talking about shooting 2 in the pelvis, 2 in the heart, and 2 in the head, I started a firestorm over there. But so guys, watch for a video and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think we have a great chat. I hope the people on the outside appreciate it. With just a couple of guys here, I don't participate in the outside chat as much as I normally do. When I have a bigger panel, I'm able to talk a little bit more. So I apologize to the external chat that I hadn't been active as I normally am, but it's hard to have a conversation with just a couple of guys and keep up with that too. So I apologize for that. And also keep in your thoughts, Live for Wild. He's having knee surgery tomorrow. So keep him in his thoughts. And with that, later, everybody. Good night.